Good morning. It is June 11th and it's day 13 of the Crime Mercy virtual tour. And my scheduled site host had to cancel for today, so to be a little different, I'm coming to you from the website called Sue Knits Again. And this is the blog site for Sue Sinclair, who just happens to be my sister. And I thought, well, I'll go to Sue's website because knitters read, and in Sue's honor, I am, despite the fact I'm wearing blue, wearing the socks she knitted for me. There they are. Let me see if I can get them in the camera. Lovely pink socks. Very nice. It's a little chilly this morning at Crystal Lake, so I thought I'd put on some socks from Sue and warm my tootsies. Sue and her husband, Mac, live in a tiny little town. Well, they don't even live in the town. The closest town is about 6 miles away. It's called Melrose, Florida. It's in northern Florida, the closest city being Gainesville, Florida, where the University of Florida is, and all those crazy Gator fans live. And they live in an air park community, which means all the houses have an airplane hangar, and there is an airstrip there. It's a paved, lighted airstrip, very nice. When they first moved there, they had a plane. Sue's the pilot, Mac's the passenger. They don't fly anymore, but they still live there, and you can still hear the planes taking off and landing, and something to watch while you're there. And I lived there briefly after I left my job in Miami, and before I moved back to my cottage in Connecticut. Had some business to take care of in Florida, so I wasn't quite ready to leave. So I stayed there for a couple of months, and it was just a neat little community. It's way out in the country, but it's very charming, and I really had a good time living in Melrose. Also, you should visit Sue's jewelry website. It's called suesjewels.com. Sue said that she got into the jewelry business so that she could have as much jewelry as she wanted and afford it. So if you see Sue wearing something that you really like, make her an offer. It's probably for sale. She sells mostly vintage jewelry, some new, but mostly vintage or antique. In fact, I am wearing a copper cuff. This is, I believe, a Renoir, which was I think a 50s and 60s brand, and she's got a really nice selection of copper jewelry, so check that out. I like the Matisse too, with the enamel on it. You'll really like that. And that's suesjewels.com. They used to travel around in a converted small school bus and sell it at shows. They don't do that quite as much anymore, but you can see pictures of the bus on their site too, which is fun. Okay, I have some questions for my Twitter followers to look at here. Let's see, what's this? This person says, is there a written story you wish you would have written? Oh yeah, there are so many written stories. I'm always reading a book and going, that was just brilliant. I wish I had written that. What really comes to mind with that is Jodi Picoult, her stories, because she tends to take something very topical from very current and then make it into a very compelling story. Like right now, this movie that's just come out of one of her books, My Sister's Keeper, I'm looking forward to seeing that, because that was a book that just completely blew me away when I read it, thinking, oh, what a brilliant premise for a story, and what fabulous writing. And but that happens to me all the time. If there's other books written by other authors that I wish I had written. Let's see here, what else we have. What do you do to get rid of writer's block? Like when you have an idea but you can't get it to come out. Well, the kind of writer's block where people can't think of what to write, from what I can figure, only exists, in the movies. Most writers I know have tons of ideas, and they either have a hard time getting them on the page because, like you said, they don't want to come out, or way more commonly, because they don't have time. They get caught up and they don't sit down to write. It's often quoted that the cure for writer's block is something called Bic Hoc, butt in chair, hands on keyboard. And I've talked about this before. The only thing you can't fix is an empty page. It's very difficult for me to draft write, but you just have to spew it out. I was just reading Anne Lamott's book, Bird by Bird, and she has a chapter called Shitty First Drafts. That's the actual name of the chapter. She says you have to give yourself permission to write a shitty first draft, to just get it out there, get it on the page. And this is very hard for me. This is why I like the Dr. Wicked Write or Die tool, because you set a little goal, and then you have you know, whatever you set, and I tend to do 10 minutes to write 200 words, and you have to write pretty fast. And if you stop and pause and say, now, had she already picked up the wine glass earlier in the chapter? If you stop and think about stuff like that, you know, then the punishing noises will start. They have, you know, crying babies and fingernails on chalkboards and annoying pop music, and you don't have time. Just get it on the page and fix it later. And that's my advice. If you've got something that just doesn't want to come out, just let it be bad. Just sit down and start to just write it. Just write it badly. Just, if it makes no sense and it's incoherent, it doesn't matter. Clean it up later. It's a lot easier to clean up something that you've written than to start writing. Okay, one more. Let's see what else we have. What? Have you adopted your neighbor's cat yet? No. Contrary to what he will tell you, Stormy is very well fed and loved at home. In fact, he's not here right now. The reason you don't see him on the videos is because I'm usually shooting these in the morning when his family is up and getting ready for work and for school. Now, once the kids have gone to school, and a few minutes after the school bus leaves, I hear the sound of the school bus. And then a few minutes later, I hear the mother's van start up, and she has a business that they run down the street. As soon as she leaves to run her business, 12 seconds later, Stormy's at my door claiming that no one loves him and that he hasn't been fed in days. And it's not true. If you go over there, he's got an enormous food dish, and it's always full, and he's lying on the sofa with his belly being rubbed, so he gets plenty of love and attention. He just wants it 24 hours a day, so when they're not available, hey, I'm here, he comes over here. He's a nice cat, though, but I'm not going to adopt him. No. No. No matter what, absolutely not. Okay, I'm going to do a tarot reading here today, and let's see who's got their first one in. It was Adele Loudon. Okay, and I'm going to spell her name for you because she has a website, and it's ADELLELAUDAN, and her profile says, "Changing the Image of Bikers, One Book at a Time." Well, that sounds interesting. And I'll bet if you went to her website, she's in Southern Ontario in Canada, which is just AdeleLoudon.com. I'll bet we could find out what the Changing the Image of Bikers thing is all about. In fact, when I finish this video, I think I'll go see what's going on with Adele's website. Okay, let me shuffle the cards here. I already pre-shuffled them a little bit, so you don't have to listen to shuffling cards for 5 minutes. Trying to be concise here, and for once, not have to cut out a few seconds of my video. We cut them. And we have Cups, Swords, and Cups. Okay. Cups are the suit of the things that you need to take care of your emotional needs, like love. And the Queen, which is one of the ruling cards. Okay, we have the Queen and the King, and they're both rulers. But whereas the King's more the one who sets down the law, the Queen is more of a mother figure. And the Queen of Cups is about the unconditional love. She's the one that takes care of everyone. She doesn't judge. You come to the Queen of Cups and say, "I screwed up." She says, "That's okay, baby. Would you like some soup?" And there are a lot of rewards to giving unconditional love. But there's also a caution, and the caution is that people who spend all their time being the Queen of Cups have a tendency to neglect their own needs. So be careful of that, Adele. Okay, the next one is the Page of Swords. Now, the pages are messengers. They bring you messages. They also can represent young people. And because they are swords, their message is going to tend to be about something significant, some significant event in your life. And as I've said before, pages also give you a little deportment lesson about your behavior. Oh, I'm running out of time again. Okay, so go look that up on learntarot.com about your deportment lesson. And just quickly, the third card is the Three of Cups, which is about having fun and enjoying the people that you love in your life and saying to go do that and have a good time together. Gotta go, out of time. Bye.